together and made this project work. This is a really big deal. It's the only 4-agency, 1 location, single location business and registration center in the country. So I'd like to start out with a big round of applause for these staff members and everybody that's made this happen. We have a program to follow, and it's a real honor for me on behalf of the Secretary to introduce the guy that kind of was the glue that pulled this whole thing together, took the project on, took the challenge on, and worked with Penny Barker and her staff and the staff we have in the Secretary of State's office and the other agencies to bring this to where we are today. Please welcome the Director of the West Virginia One-Stop Business Center, Matthew Gallagher.
Thanks everybody for coming out. We are certainly super excited to finally get this kicked off. We know there's been a lot of talk about this for the past few years, and especially since there was a mandate from the legislature. Thanks for all the other agencies for putting up with me calling you nonstop and nagging you for about the last year or so. We'd like to start out introducing the agency leaders. And I'm going to kind of put the staff on the spot here. Donetta is she in here? Or is she in her office still? She's working. She's working. Oh, yeah, I think there is a customer. Marcia, can you introduce your agency director? Or Jeff, can you come up and introduce him real quick? Yeah, we'd love for you to come up and introduce him.
Our executive director is Jeff Green. Deputy is Jeff Green. And we've really enjoyed working here with everyone. It's been an honor.
You want to say? No. Okay.
All
right. Thanks, Marcia. Marnie, where's Marnie at? He's back there. Yep, you have to come up.
Hi, I'm Marnie Ballinger. I'm here representing contractor licensing with the Division of Labor, and our commissioner here is here today, Mitch Woodrum. And it is a pleasure to be here with everybody. Everybody's been really nice and welcoming, and I've had a lot of positive feedback already from customers, so that's what it's about. It's to be more customer focused. So, here's Mitch.
And Donetta, who is our agency employee from the tax department, is right now with the customer. So even when we're trying to launch it off, we've got people rolling in. So I guess I'll introduce Quasi Toombs. Quasi's been a big part of this from the IT standpoint. So not only is this a physical location with a call center, but a big part of this whole project is an online one-stop shop for businesses. So we're improving on the current Business for West Virginia website, and we're incorporating the other 3 agencies into the online aspect as well. So we have a couple comments from one-stop users. First, we'll start with Terry Stamper. Terry, would you come up, please?
Thank you. Hello, my name is Terry Stamper. We've been doing business with the Secretary of State's office, tax department, the Division of Labor, workforce, well, since about 2005. Having to file with each division in separate buildings across town, then eventually end up back at the Capitol Complex to file with the Division of Labor. Me and a lot of other people have had to do it. Having this location here, all in one location, all 4 divisions, it's been a blessing to me and I'm sure a lot of others. Also, sometimes companies need their filings done in a certain time frame, which normally is right now. So with the Business One Stop offering the expedite services and the filing options such as that, it's made business doing a lot easier and quicker. The staff in the Business One Stop, they know what they're doing. They're very knowledgeable and working, knowing that each each division can actually talk to each other instead of having to call or email or something like that. It makes it a lot less stressful on, especially me with the filings we do, and it makes it more accurate in the end. I've had a lot of positive feedback from our customers and our clients, and with the new procedures that the Secretary of State's set up with this new building, the Business One Stop does offer the ease and convenience and the expertise all under one roof, so we appreciate it.
And then another comment from a user is Evan. Evan, would you come and introduce yourself?
Good afternoon. My name is Evan Miracle, and I'm a senior at Glenville State College. I'm a 21-year-old small business owner, and I'm majoring in music performance, accounting, marketing, and management. I anticipate graduating in the spring of 2020. My business, J&E Liquidation and Wholesale, currently focuses primarily on clothing. However, we have started to focus more on developing into other categories as sourcing opportunities become available. It started in October, and although in its infancy, J&E is consistently growing. However, this business would not even exist if it were not for the Secretary of State, Mr. Mac Warner, coming to Glenville State and talking about the Young Entrepreneurs Act and this very Business One Stop. The sign-up process that I did online was very convenient and very easy to use, in addition to being something I did very rapidly with the papers that I needed in front of me. I look forward to seeing all the new opportunities this building can bring and seeing more West Virginian ideas become realities. Thank you.
Okay, and now we have the brain behind it all, Secretary Warner.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank all of you for coming out for this wonderful ceremony. This is a really, not just a groundbreaking ribbon cutting, this is a real initiative for the state of West Virginia, but it's also a landmark, I think, for the United States of America, because once you hear what all is being done here, you're going to find it's the only one of its kind. And our motto, moving at the speed of business, has been exemplified already by a couple people. As you noticed, they weren't able to be in here because they're over there helping customers right now. And when I talk about what the legislature has done for us, it's all going to come to fruition. I'd also like to thank the press for coming out and covering this, because this is the way we get the word out to everybody else that we exist. And it's time to come in here and start opening up those businesses, turning this economy around in West Virginia. And if we're not satisfying your needs as a business owner, let us know so we can change it. If we fix it for one person, we're fixing it for everybody in the state. You may have noticed at the very beginning of this conversation, I was trying to answer a phone call, all right? It comes back to that moving at the speed of business. I think we've all heard the situation with our capital city newspaper, the Charleston Gazette. Right before this ceremony started, we had paperwork that came into our office to open a new LLC for Wheeling Newspapers, the new owners of the Charleston Gazette. And they were using the expedited service fee, and they wanted their business open within a couple hours. They closed the business today so they could get on with the business at hand. Folks, that's happening right now as we speak, all right? That is what this whole one-stop center is, and so I salute every one of you all and your agencies and the people that are working here already for coming in and making this happen. Now, this has been talked about for years, but a couple years ago, the legislature mandated it. They said, make it happen. And they pinned the tail on the donkey of the Secretary of State's office. But it wasn't until Governor Justice was elected this last year and basically pointed the finger. And let me tell you, if anybody's been up in Morgantown, how many people, Governor Justice ran on three issues, jobs, remember that? All right, signs all over the state. Anybody been up in Morgantown and seen the literal mountain of green pipe at the Morgantown Industrial Park? I see some heads nodding. It is unbelievable. Words cannot describe. I talk about a mountain, an entire mountainside full of green pipe. okay? And what does that pipe represent? It represents West Virginia jobs. The people that are going to dig the trenches and lay the pipe and weld the pipe together, those are West Virginia jobs, okay? But what's that pipe moving? That pipe is moving minerals coming out of the ground. Marcellus Shale, Utica Shale, Rogersville Shale. It's coming out of the ground. And the burden on the coal industry. The boot has been lifted off the neck of the coal industry. We're moving coal again. I used to complain about having to wait for trains, growing up as a child. When I ran for office a year ago, I didn't have to wait for trains. The trains weren't moving. Now you're occasionally getting stopped again by trains. Those are jobs. Those are West Virginia jobs, okay? And so then this governor got elected, and he alone, single-handedly pretty much, got this road bond passed. And what's that mean? West Virginia jobs. We're already seeing improvements to our roads, and West Virginia's going back to work to make those roads better. Jobs, jobs, jobs. So when Governor Justice, when we mentioned the business one-stop, he said, make it happen. He said, if anyone gives you any trouble, let him know. We never had to go to the governor because each of the coordinating agencies cooperated and got their people over here. And, there's that crawl, walk, run. We got to the crawl, we found a location. And kudos to my staff. I mean, a magnificent staff. The lawyers went to work. Matt Gallagher and Penny Barker. Chad, who's not here today because he's there working with a customer right now, all right? Oh, there he is. He did make it back. All right, good. Chad isn't back. And the whole staff here has just been fantastic, and I hope every one of you takes an opportunity, if you haven't been back through the office, when this is over, walk back through and see the Secretary of State offices, but then the tax, workforce, and labor all in one location, and a call center. We're fixing the call center for the Secretary of State's office, and then in doing so, we're hoping to improve the call services for each of these other agencies as well. So this is truly a landmark day. It's a landmark institution that you're here to witness the ribbon cutting. I'm pleased that you're all here. And back to the legislature, all right, with Carol Miller. She's been instrumental in this as well. But the legislature as a whole, they gave us that authorization, and then just this last year, okay, in the 1 year, okay, we went to them and said, we need the expedited services. This is something I saw down in Georgia when I visited their office. The call center, we have people right now today out in Indiana working with their office because they have a great call center service. And so we're learning from other states, not reinventing the wheels. We're picking the best of these states and bringing them here to West Virginia so that we can move at the speed of business here in West Virginia. But the legislature enacted this expedited service fee. So if you want to start your business, you can come in here and in 1 hour, you pay the fee and you can walk out of here with the appropriate paperwork signed. And with us all being under one roof, you can hit each of these other agencies as well. I had somebody in the other day, I was showing them around the office, and before we walked out, they were exchanging business cards with another business owner right there in the entryway. And so this networking that's going to take place because of these agencies working together is an unintended consequence, but a very good one for the people of West Virginia. So I salute the legislature, I salute the governor, I salute the agencies, I salute my staff. It just, I appreciate getting the credit for it, but folks, it's not mine. It's the staff that's pulled this off and the cooperating agencies under the leadership of Governor Justice. With that, let's go to work, and I turn it back over to you, Matt, for the next presentation. Thank you.
Guess I'll use this one because I don't know how to turn it off. So next we have Deputy Chief of Staff Ann Erling from the Governor's Office to say a few words on his behalf.
Thank you, Matt. Hi, everyone. I'm Ann Erling. I'm Governor Justice's Deputy Chief of Staff, and he regrets being unable to join you all this afternoon. Today, it's my honor and pleasure to welcome you all here to participate and share in the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the West Virginia One-Stop Business Center. Thank you for coming. Where many of you have traveled for a long distance to get here serves to remind us all just how important the One-Stop is here to our state. And as Secretary Warner mentioned, the One Stop Business Center was a legislative initiative that started over a decade ago. And just last year, it was Governor Justice who signed the legislation that got across the finish line. I recently joined the governor's office. I was a banker for 31 years, and I can tell you from my previous life, having an expedited service like this would be very convenient, and I would have been very appreciative to have had this option to get the information needed for my customers to be able to start their business and have the documentation that they needed so that I could get their loan closed or their new deposit account opened. I wanted to say that it's been reported to the governor's office that the 4 agencies have been getting rave reviews from customers absolutely thrilled with the convenience of having all 4 agencies here under one roof. People are literally walking out the door saying this is how state government should work. This tells me that One Stop will greatly enhance our state's business-friendly environment. Before I leave you, I would like to share with you a prayer that I think is fitting for this situation. It was written by former chaplain of the U.S. Senate, Dr. Reverend Richard Halverson. Wherever you go, God is sending you. Wherever you are, God has put you there. He has a purpose in your being there. Christ who indwells you has something he wants to do through you where you are. Believe this and go in his grace and his love and his power. Before I hand over, I'd like to say on behalf of the governor's office, thank you all for your passion and fortitude. We know the job of being on the front lines with customers isn't always easy. And thank you for all that you do each and every day in each of your communities to make West Virginia great. And welcome. It's a pleasure to see so many of you here. Thank you very much.
Okay, and our last speaker is Delegate Miller on behalf of Speaker Armstead.
Thank you. I'm sorry the speaker wasn't able to be with you today. I was the chairman of Small Business, Entrepreneurship, and Economic Development. And through that committee, we were sort of the goose that laid the golden egg, and the Secretary of State is the one that hatched it. We started years ago going around our state asking small businesses what they needed, what we could do as a legislature to help. And so many of them came back with, if you could just make things simpler, make it easier for us to do business. And so working with various members like the Chamber of Commerce and people, we came together with a bill to do a portal or a one-stop shop for small businesses to be able to, and in some cases much larger businesses, to do business and welcome you to West Virginia. And this has come to fruition in a wonderful way. And I just want to thank you so much for making our dream of making our state business friendly and simpler to do business. And thank you.
Thank you.
Can everybody hear me okay? Is this still all right? The couple introductions, if you'll be so kind for me to introduce. And we sometimes, because everybody's so busy, you don't know who can stop by and who can't. But I really want to take some time to thank Delegate Atkinson for being here, Delegate Queen for being here. Are there any other legislators who are here? We heard from so many yesterday and today about their committee assignments. Not that these delegates are forfeiting any committee duties today, but we really appreciate you all taking time to be here with us. We know it's a busy time for you, but we wanted the legislature to understand how appreciative we are that you gave us this opportunity to pool this together to service our business community, and we hope that we can live up to the expectations of our legislators, of the governor. I can assure you that Secretary Warner will make sure that we do our jobs here and make sure that we continue to move at the speed of business, one customer at a time. And we understand what that means, and our whole staff has sort of embraced it. I want to also recognize Erica Bailey with the Small Business Development Center and our partnership that we've developed with you and your coaches, several of who are here. Thank you very, very much. And also Ms. Donahue with the, there you are, with the United States Small Business Administration. Thank you for being here and representing the SBA. We really appreciate you taking time to do that. Last but certainly not least, and she told me she would kill me if I said anything about her, if I got her up here to speak, and I won't tell you how long she's been with the Business and Licensing Division at the Secretary of State's office, but it's been almost 4 decades. This would have never happened without Penny Barker. She is the glue that keeps it all together. She knows where all the bodies are buried, trust me. And so when we moved her over here, she absolutely just embraced it. Her staff has embraced it. This is a real asset. I mean, this is the only 4-agency, single location business and licensing center in the country. And how great it is to be part of something where West Virginia is number one. West Virginia is the first. Secretary Warner has already gotten requests to present this concept at the National Association of Secretaries of State. We hope to get visits from other secretaries to come see how this center is operating. And I can't tell you how proud the management team is of the staff that's here, the synergy that's here, and everything that's happening in this building and the good things to happen. Finally, I'll call your attention to the logo. And as you can see from the logo, and we put a lot of time into this, right guys? Sure did. A lot of time. That's about the 30th, no kidding, the 30th rendition of the logo. And I'll have to say that Secretary Warner got pretty tough on us. He wanted to make sure that the logo represented something that talked about partnership, that talked about working together. And if one of those sprockets stops working, or breaks a tooth, or gets jammed up, the whole thing doesn't work, right? And that's the concept with the logo. I'm particularly proud of that. Every time the secretary would walk into the room and he'd be holding a piece of paper that looked like that logo, Steve Adams and our design team, we just thought, oh no, not again. No kidding. That's 30 times, right? So we're proud of that logo. It says what it is, and it talks about the teamwork. So when you see that logo, you know the 4 agencies that are participating, and I hope that you'll be just as proud of it that I know these gentlemen and their staffs and our secretary is, and I know the governor is as well. So finally, let's get you set up for a photograph and official ribbon cutting, unless there are any other announcements. Penny, are you sure you don't want to say anything? Okay. Steve? Oh, Mr. Secretary?
Right here's the paperwork on that Charleston newspaper, and I'm pointing it out because the stat that I want to give you is, as of today, we've only had this open the expedited service fee that the legislature gave us. Only had it for about 4 or 5 months now, okay? And already we've had over 1,500 transactions using the expedited service fee, the paperwork right here. That's brought in over $60,000 to the state, okay? So that is people that are using the service, using this business one-stop, and I cite that as an example so that if you've got that idea and you want to create a business, or you know somebody that's ready to start a business, tell them how easy it is. Tell them to come here and in one stop get their business up and running. So I think it's a real gem that we have here at the Capitol. And folks, nobody had to come through security as you came through here. There's free parking out back, all right? It just doesn't get any easier. So come here and take advantage of it, get your business started, and let's turn this economy around in West Virginia. So with that, let's get the ribbon cutting underway.
Okay. If everybody up front would join us in front of the table, Stephen will take it. You ready? Okay, sure. Let me, Mr. Secretary, if we can move the table back.
Sure.
Okay, you're real close. Come in real close. Okay, pull it real tight and kind of, there you go.
Okay. I am ready whenever you guys are, so looking good.
Those two cut, Mr. Secretary, be careful.
Go for
1,
it.
2, 3.
There.
Give them a grand opening.
Oh, grand opening. Okay, there we go.